Alright, welcome to Athens 2004. We're going to play through all of the field events and attempt to get world records on each of them. The first one up is the long jump, and it's the easiest of all. All you have to do is press the two buttons X and circle as fast as you can, and then press the takeoff button, it's one of the trigger buttons, R1 or L1, on the takeoff point to slam your foot on the board, take off into the air, and hopefully sail towards a world record. So it's quite an easy one. Getting the speed up isn't too difficult. Getting the timing right on the board is pretty easy once you've got the hang of it. It is just one button press after all. And this one, I thought I'd got the world record, but it was only 9 meters 28. The world record is currently set at 9 meters 30. It's huge up in the top left hand corner. And the reason for that is because I've already played through this and I've already had 9 meters 30. And I think that's actually the maximum distance you can get. We get 9 meters 30 there, so if you called the world record, I don't think you can get any further than that. I've played it quite a few times and never managed to get any further, so it doesn't seem like anybody else has got further online either, so I'm guessing that's the max distance. So to press the buttons really fast here, I'm using the Olympic gold technique, which is to position one thumb over the cross button and another thumb over the circle button, and you're going to place the controller vertically on a sort of pivot point. I'm using the weight here. You can see sort of using a dumbbell weight, but that's just for the webcam. Normally I would just like position it on my thigh, but I didn't really want a gratuitous shot of my crotch for 15 minutes while I shake and vibrate, vigorously. I think that might be a little weird. So, moving on to the next event, which is actually the hardest event of all, the high jump. Well, at least I think it's the hardest. It's timing based, but you've got to be really precise with the timing. You've actually got to press the circle or cross button and time with the footsteps, and then you've got to take off using the L1 button. Now I got a really easy one there. Just getting a little bit of practice in early, 2 meters 38, but then we're going to skip all the way up to 2 meters 50 and we're going to try for the world record. Bloody awful attempt. It's so hard to get right. The windows for these buttons are very small, and not only that, there isn't much visual kind of input to really be precise with. It's all to do with the foot, like the feet stamping down, and I guess that's just not like a kind of animation that I'm used to watching and trying to predict. So 2 meters 50, I was quite pleased with that. You can go higher than that. The maximum height, which we're going to attempt next, is actually 2 meters 60. So we're going to skip all the way up to 2 meters 60 and we're going to give that a try. The thing with 2 meters 60 is I'm pretty sure that you need to be perfect with like all of them. Like I think you need to be perfect on all of the steps. I don't think there's going to be much room for error at that kind of, it's the final height, it's the maximum height. It's going to expect you to be perfect. So if you ain't perfect, you ain't getting it. And I was not perfect, so I didn't get it. But we did get the world record, so I'm pleased with that. And it's time to move on to the next event, which is the triple jump. And this is a little bit like the long jump, except there's an extra couple of jumps at the end. It's nice and easy. I've switched the button pressing method there just because, well, sometimes the jumps can be hard to get. I wasn't really happy with the power, so I'm switching back to the vibration method to try and get max power. 3 jumps, you just got to be precise with the timing of the takeoff of each jump. 1, 2, 3. The hop, the skip, and the jump. If you get the timing right on that, you're gonna get a good jump. I didn't get the timing right on the takeoff, so I end up with a foul there. We're trying to get past 18 meters 44, which is a world record I'd previously set, which was quite a high bar actually. I'm not I'm not sure that getting past that's going to be terribly easy. 1837, we were close, we were close. Now you may be wondering why I'm even playing this game at all. I've actually been speedrunning the track events, the individual track events. But they're really short. Like the max is like what, 400 meters, which is like 40-50 seconds. So they're not long videos. They're all unlisted. They're all on speedrun.com just for validation. So they're not public, I guess. But you can view them if you want. There's playlists available, and I'll put links up in the description. But let's get past 1844. Perfect, perfect, perfect. How far are we going this time? We got the world record, 1846. And there's one more attempt, which turns out to be a foul, so we're not going to get any further than 1846. But that's a pretty good distance. I'm not aware of any further distances at the moment. I'm not sure that I could do much better than that. You're talking centimetres, if anything. But that's pretty good. Another world record under the belt, and we've got to move on to the next event now, which is, let's have a look, the pole vault. Now this is a little bit like the high jump in that you pick your sort of height to begin with. But it's actually quite easy. It's a little bit like the long jump. You press buttons as fast as you can, and then there's a single button you've got to time perfectly to take off. And we're going to go all the way up to the max height, the final height, which is 6 meters 40. And we're going to try for the world record. Going to go as fast as we possibly can. Head at the top. And bang. First time. Easy peasy. That's how it's done. So along with the long jump, that's got to be the close to the easiest events going. And we're on to the next one, which is the discus. Now this, I quite like this one, mainly because it's not as easy as it looks. You've got to rotate the analog sticks as fast as you can, but you can't go into the red area. If you go into the red area, you foul it. So you gotta time it, and you gotta be fast. Which is like, it's hard to do. It's hard to get it right. And then not only that, but you've got to try and get the angle right as well. So the first 3/4 of the circle is the power that you build up. And then the last quarter is where you sort of switch to choosing your angle of release. And you've got to try and get that midpoint, that little white bit in the middle. I think maybe just above that. And we do pretty well there. It's a little bit too high. But it's a good throw nonetheless. We're up at what, 73 meters, 57? So we're not far off the world record, which is what, just over 74 meters. But this is not going to challenge. It's not even close to the red line, and we're way over on angle. This is a bad throw. Last couple of attempts. Not much in it. You can see how I'm trying to slow down so as I don't go into the red area. It's just one of these things where you just have to time it, get the right feel for it, and then the timing of the angle is going to be crucial, because you don't want to get close to that red bar and then fuck up the angle. And oh, we got an amazing angle and amazing power there. So this has to be the world record. It's just a question of how far is it going to go? The record is gone? How far? How far? 74:36. So another world record on the final attempt. The pressure was on. Anyway, time to move on to the next event. What have we got? We've got Javelin. Holy moly, the Javelin is, along with the high jump, possibly one of the hardest. You've got to go really fast, consistently, to get the max power. And then you've got to switch to holding a really precise angle, and then you've got to time the release. Now the angle is very, very finicky. It's not quite straight along. It's like a little bit up from straight along, and then you gotta. It's so sensitive. The tiniest movement will change the angle a huge amount. So it's really hard to get, especially after you're changing like hand positions. And I've tried other methods of like pressing the buttons fast, but I can't get the same power and then like get the angle. So I'm stuck with just switching. I'm coughing in the webcam and I'm coughing in real life. It's like I've got some sort of lung issue. It's maybe like some sort of illness going around. I hope not. Anyway, I've went to take a rest here because like I'm super fucking pumped. Like this gets your shoulder pumped up to fuck when you're like shaking the fucking pad as fast as you can repeatedly. And this is not the first time I've done this. Like I've been playing this for like, you know, maybe 15-20 minutes by this stage, so my shoulders like properly like pumped up. Anyway, 45 degrees, perfect release, max power. And that's the new world record. How far? How far? Come on, tell us how far. 99 meters 34. Not bad, even if I do say so myself. We do have a little bit of a improvement upon that. You'll see at the end of this video, I've got another method to improve the distance, but I don't think it's fair. So we're not including it in the main part of this video, because the main part of this video is like, what can you do under human power, like using no aids, you know? And I'm not counting that weight as an aid, because I would just normally be using my thigh. Anyway, shot put is the next event. Finally an event that doesn't include some sort of button bashing. This is literally just hitting the button twice. You got to time it just before the red line, and then you got to time it at sort of like about a 45-degree angle again. The bar just comes up twice, and you just got to hit the button twice. But it goes really fast, so it's not very easy. And these attempts are absolutely atrocious here. Like, we haven't got a single attempt in yet. And again, into the red, foul. Trying to get really close to the red line is obviously the hardest bit. You got to get close enough, but not go too far. And we got 46 degrees angle. This was a phenomenal throw. New world record, 23 meters 95. Now, I think that can be improved upon, because there was once I was playing in the decathlon and I got on the red line and I didn't foul. So I think there's a little bit extra power to be had. And not only that, maybe a 45-degree angle or a 44-degree angle would be better for this, as opposed to 46. So again, there might be room for improvement there. Anyway, back to this cheat javelin, and what we've done is we've actually taped down the analog stick to the correct angle, so we don't have to change position and pick it out, and we can get a new world record using this method. But I think it's a little bit of a cheat, so I've not included it in the main thing. But you can see here all the different world records. Obviously the javelin one's a little bit further than we actually achieved under pure human power, but yeah, can you beat any of these scores? Can any of them be beaten?